Somebody asked me what lathe to choose. Could I recommend one? No, I can't. I can probably name half a dozen you could get. But it's a tool, it's like any other tool. Some are suitable for different jobs. Here I've got an old Colchester student. I inherited this when I had a small concern and I just couldn't part with it. But it was originally designed for students, well, it's got its name. And it's a very basic, quite solid thing. It's designed to allow for a few mistakes and so forth. But you may not need a lathe. Pardon me. And if so, what do you intend to do with it? This is not really suitable for sort of clock making. A little unimat or benchtop model might be suitable. On the other hand, if you have something like that and you have perhaps a little Super 7 or precision little lathe, very nice, lovely, I'd like one. I have had one in the past, but I only got this one now. It wouldn't be suitable for workshop jobbing. It wouldn't be man enough. So it's all a bit of a compromise. As I say, it's like any tool. And so no, I can't recommend one. But do you actually need one anyway? I've heard lots of people say, oh, if I had your machinery I could do this, that and the other. Well, some of the best things I've seen built have been built with just hand tools. I'll give you an example. Okay, well here's a simple example. Say I want to thread a piece of bar. Well, I can use a lathe. I can put a single point tool in the tool holder. I can select the correct ratios, metric or imperial, number of teeth per inch, and so forth. Quite a palaver. And then I have a dial here so I can pick up odd and even threads. And I can go past the start and past the finish of a thread before I engage to take up backlash of the lathe, and so forth and so on. And you can read all up this, people far more experienced than me, and look it up in technical books and so forth. Do I use this? I try to avoid it whenever possible. It's just far too much hassle, and I like to get the job done. So if we want to thread that bar, that's just a small piece for this example. All we need is a die and a die holder. Stick that in the vise and away you go. That's a simple way, and the end result is exactly the same. But because I have a lathe, this is some of the sort of things I do. So to get the job done, I'll put the bar in the 3-jaw chuck, and we'll apply a liberal amount of cutting fluid, most important, otherwise we'll get ragged threads. That'll do. Where can I put that? Down there somewhere. And using our die and die holder, there's a right way and a wrong way. And that's the start, and that's the side I'm going to use with the chuck. So I'm going to bring up the tailstock to there, lock it and apply pressure. As you can see, the die holder is now at 90 degrees to the rod. And we just move this out of the way and move it along to about there will do. And move the top of the handle just clear of the top of the slide here, bearing in mind we're going in that direction. And we'll start the lathe and do the cut in one. When we start, I apply pressure with the hand wheel to start it, after which the die will continue on its own. Enough talk, demonstrate. Right. Right, she's on the way now to go by herself. keep this on here all the time. Don't worry about that. We're cutting a thread in one pass. Let's say we got to where we want to go. That would be long enough, say. We'll stop it. Now, bearing in mind, this is under tension on the top here. So don't go in reverse, because this will swing round and smack the bed. Remove the tailstock and back it off by hand. Let's move the saddle out the way. You can see clearly what I'm doing. There we go, that's out the way. This is now free, so I can reverse the lathe, hopefully. Should have gone at a faster speed, but this will do. As I say, you could have done this without the expense of a lathe. But I haven't finished making my point yet. Stay with me, guys, and I'll try and make my point here. These two nuts represent a scale. This is the correct way of doing things, and that's the wrong way of doing things. We want to achieve this wherever possible. But there is a price to pay for being at this end of the scale. This end of the scale is where you go to model engineering exhibitions, and you see these fantastic models that you can only drool over the expertise that went into them. But these guys can't earn a living doing that. They can't sell their models and get paid their worth. They've put in hours and hours and hours. Expertise, sourcing materials, cleaning machines, so forth and so on. They would never earn a living at it. They would, no matter how expensive you see these models, it doesn't reflect the effort that was put into them. We certainly want to avoid this end. So where do I work? Well, I work somewhere in between those two fingers. It's what I call the non-fart-ass machining area. Working on this analogy of scale of the nuts, working in that area is not the right way to do the job. It's where I work, it is the right way for that area, but it is not the correct way of doing the job. Perhaps with this example I've given you some food for thought. But whether you found this video entertaining or not, what you will find entertaining is to look down there at the comments I receive.